on for this one. The 2,000 Gallon Lagoon Aquarium is going online right now. That's the intro. Let's go. So that's why my water evaporates so much from the discus aquarium. I see what's going on here. Well, this is a video that I have been looking forward to and dreading at the same time. We are starting the 2,000 gallon lagoon build. We're going to be transforming this 13.5 foot long, what used to be a shark tank, into our marine lagoon aquarium. As you can see, it's just been sort of running dormant for quite a while, waiting on this moment. And what does that mean? Well, that means we're taking all of the live rock out of this tank that's been almost running dormant. I mean, we're taking care of the fish, but obviously it needs some sprucing up. And we'll be taking all of the rock and fish out of the 600 gallon reef slope and the connected refugium back here. So this is all one big system. Everything out of here is going to go into our lagoon aquarium. But the trick with this whole deal, and the reason I've been dreading this as much as I've been looking forward to it, is this is not a one-day job. This is a massive undertaking, and we need to keep everything alive. We need to keep all of the live rock in both aquariums alive, so we're gonna have to transfer it over in big trash cans full of water from that system over to this system. As we add lots and lots of rock to this system, we're gonna have to lower the salt water down here by adding it back to the old system, because we'll be taking away a lot of rock. So as you can imagine, we got a bit of a dance going on here. And then of course, once this scape gets rebuilt and the other tanks are largely empty of rock and are just holding the fish, we then have to make a whole bunch of salt water for this aquarium fairly quickly. So again, we don't have a big die-off. So then we need to stabilize this system, turn the filtration back on, fire up the protein skimmer again, which hasn't been running for a long time. And we need to monitor it and make sure we haven't created so much die-off that we have a mini cycle or anything like that. Anything that's gonna stress the fish. We have a lot of monitoring to do here. In the meantime, we've taken a whole lot of the biological filtration with all that rock out of the old system, so we're gonna kind of run that on cruise control, which means we're gonna go kind of light feedings and everything. Now, it's a very established system. It's been running for, oh my gosh, like 8 years. So there's a lot of bacteria growing up on the walls of the aquarium, the substrate and everything like that. So we're not taking away the whole filtration. We still have the refugium and everything, but obviously it's a big shock to both these systems. We got to do this right because we don't want to lose anybody. But when we're done, it's going to be worth it, because we're going to have a 2,000 gallon lagoon aquarium with probably like 3,000 to 4,000 pounds of live rock in it. It's going to be insane. So the only way I can ever get started with this is just start doing it and not think about it. Because the more I think about it, the more I think, oh my gosh, what an undertaking. But if I get started, I won't have a choice but to just finish it. So let's go. Dang, kitty, save some for the camels. As you guys can imagine, it takes a lot of time and money to build and maintain the big tanks that I do here on Aquarium Domain. And that's why I want to thank today's video sponsor, Tempo from Home Chef, for supporting not only this video, but the channel. It really helps me to keep doing what I'm doing and build bigger and better projects. So it's really not uncommon for me to be working down in the fish basement and completely lose track of time. Before you know it, I'm starving, and what are my choices? I can go cook a big meal. It's gonna take an hour and there's gonna be a lot of cleanup. I could get fast food, but that's a terrible idea because I like to eat healthy. And that's where the beauty of Tempo by Home Chef comes in, is that they're a meal delivery service, but they focus on fresh meals. So chef prepared, freshly sourced ingredients that are cooked and then sealed fresh and just refrigerated, not frozen. So you receive them, you put them in the refrigerator, and then at any time when you want a healthy meal, you're literally just a couple minutes away from heating it up and you're eating a healthy meal with quality ingredients rather than having to settle. So let's take a look at one of these meals by Tempo. Let's see, you've got a few up here. So far they've all been good, so let's go with this one. So I just pop it out of the fridge and I basically just check the heating instructions. You got both choices, conventional oven or microwave. I'm gonna go microwave, so it looks like 2 minutes and 30 seconds and we'll be on our way. Let's go. Well, you'll have to trust me on this, but it smells even better than it looks. We got garlic, parsley, steamed farro, smoked paprika, roasted carrots, roasted dried zucchini, grated parmesan, grilled sous vide chicken breast, spicy red pepper sauce, and chopped green onions. Definitely more of an intense flavor meal than I would ever make on my own. So let's go ahead and dig into this. So it doesn't get any easier than that, and literally within a couple minutes, I've got a great tasting, healthy meal in front of me, and before you know it, this will be done, and I'll be back down in the fish basement, finishing that 800-gallon cube build. So second only to the high-quality ingredients and great tasting meals from Tempo is how easy the website is to use. It's super easy to sign up and configure your preferences, edit what meals you want, edit the frequency you want them delivered on, including even the day of the week. You can alter your subscription, alter your meals, alter your delivery dates, even pause or cancel. It's simply just a couple clicks away, no hassle. So if you're interested in the service, I want to see what Tempo could do for the Aquarium Mate audience, and if you see it on the screen right now, Aquarium 60, well, they're doing 60% off your first order. I'd say that's pretty decent. So whether you use the QR code that's on the screen or the referral link in the description, that'll take you to their site, and that'll apply that 60% discount to your first order. So if Tempo seems like something you're interested in, give it a click, give it a try. Okay, so here's step one. First thing we're doing is we have the old Siche sump pump in there, and we are pumping water into the sump refugium of the 1500 system here because we're going to be taking out a lot of rock, so I'm going to go ahead and get the water in there so the filter can keep going. I'll show you that in a second. You can see here that when we turn the pump off, we come very close to the top of the sump, but it does hold the water. And then we have a couple brute trash cans here with wheels because we'll do this tank first. We'll take all this live rock out. We'll leave a tiny little bit in there just for the fish, keep them comfortable, but we'll take the majority of that out and get that transferred over here to the 2,000 gallon first. And as you can see here, this is the sump refugium for the 1500 system, and we're adding water from the 2,000 gallon. You can see the water line is down probably 6 inches there. You sort of see that algae line on the liner, and you can see where the pump is. So the water can't go down lower than that pump, obviously. But we're going to take it up to about the algae line on those pipes for the returns, or maybe even a little bit higher, since we're going to immediately start pulling rock out of here, and it's going to lower it right away. So it's hard to tell exactly how much rock I need, but you can see here on the 265, it is most of the rock removed. Again, we left some for the fish so they can feel comfortable. And the same situation with the 600 gallon. Obviously the water's all turned up, but we still have a lot of rock in here. There's just a ton of rock, but I don't think we need it all for the Lagoon Aquarium. Let me show you what the Lagoon Aquarium looks like with what we've moved in so far. Alright, again, it's all turned up and it's pumping out right now because I'm getting ready to get inside there, but we have a huge mound of rock over here, a huge mound of rock over here, and then over here on the side as well. You got to keep in mind this tank is 6 foot front to back, so those piles of rocks, let me get in a little closer for you. These are very substantial, substantially wide, huge piles of rocks. So we're going to start with this, and of course if I need more, there's plenty more right over there. Well, believe it or not, all that rock got used up in just rocking the corners where the tank bends around the posts. We have that all rocked up on both sides, as you can see over here, and that's sort of like the entry point into the lagoon over there. And then we have the first sort of lagoon island rock formation. This is the only big one in the middle. And what I'm going to do is bring over some more rock. I'm going to add a small formation here, and same thing over here. So we're going to have, let's see, 3, 5, got like at least 5 major areas, separate areas, you know, that fish can have territory in, with lots of big open space in between for the bigger fish. But at any rate, I'm just going to grab a little more rock out of those tanks, finish off the small formations here, and then it's time to start turning all the trash cans down there into saltwater making machines and get this filled back up as quickly as possible. Okay, so the filtration system's on, we've got the wave makers running, and we are cycling the system. So I made a lot of bucket or trash cans and trash cans full of salt water. I got this sucker up most of the way, and then I went ahead and put a bunch of fresh water, brought the salinity down, and then dumped salt. So the key is, it was enough of a, it was salt water enough that we're not killing off bacteria and everything like that. All the critters will survive, and it's just a lot faster for me because making trash can after trash can after trash can of salt water, it takes a lot of time. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and, so I've measured, it should be the right amount of salt so that once that salt there is done mixing with the fresh water and the temperature is the correct temperature, we should have the correct salinity. If there's any little tweaks, we'll take care of that. And I still have 1,000 pounds of live rock in the other tank, so I'm gonna do little tweaks here, like to the scape here. I want to flare it out at the bottom, kind of like I did over here, make it a little more natural. I want to create some like sort of caverns through there, so this one I'll extend out a little bit. That one there I'll build it up and wrap it around a little bit, sort of create some rocky caverns. I'll do the same thing over here. I'll clear that piece out, and I'll move that piece back, and I'll sort of create two caverns here and over here. So still some tweaks to do, but I can do that from up top with the grabber, just putting things in place. The first day there, getting inside here, let me go ahead and wrap around. Skimmer's not on yet because, you know, we don't have the right salinity right now. It's a little too low. So until that mixes in. And obviously I'll put the lights on the right way and pressure wash the tops. But that first day was, you can probably even hear it in my voice. It was like from 10 in the morning till 2 in the morning, the following morning, basically cleaning out the entire sump system, draining this tank down, moving over all the live rock, scaping it, getting inside and scaping it, cleaning the glass, you know, just the whole 9 yards, and then mixing just trash can after trash can of salt water. It just takes a lot longer that way to, you know, with the right temperature and everything. So, whew, so I am beat, and I can't, you know, I'm not gonna rush putting the livestock in. So pretty much what I'll do now is the system, you know, it's up and running. It's a functioning system. It'll dial in over the next 24 hours or so, and then I'm gonna monitor it for a week, and then we'll go from there. So once, assuming everything goes as expected during the week, then actually let me take you over here. I always love this look from the far end. Looking down the whole tank, you can really see how massive it is, you know, because over here it's only like 4.5 feet, and in the middle you got that 6 foot wide section. At any rate, over the course of the week, everything dials in correctly. I'll use that time to perfect the aquascape, and the next video on this tank, we will fire up the protein skimmer. We'll talk about dosing, we'll add the fish, all that. It'll be online. The tops, lights, everything will be as it should be. But this is it's gonna be a beast. I cannot wait. Oh man, I'm gonna get some rest, but we're gonna get this thing up real soon. Who knew that bringing a 2,000 gallon lagoon aquarium and transferring over 3,000 or 4,000 pounds of live rock and fish would be a heck of an undertaking. So much so that I can't cram it all in one video because I don't want to risk the health of the fish. I want the system run for a little while, and I want to make sure everything is just right. So, but we are so close. But in the next video on this tank, on part 2, the fish are going in. We'll do a couple of little final tweaks to the aquascape. We'll fire the protein skimmer up, and I'll even show you how I dose calcium and alkalinity for such a big tank, because obviously I can't go out there and get like a you know, like a Reef Complete or something like that, or Fusion A and B, I mean, the cost would be prohibitive, you know? So I have a DIY version, way of doing it. I didn't create the DIY version, I just learned it. So I'll show you the source I got it from, I'll show you how it works, and that's how we're gonna grow coralline algae, and we're gonna provide calcium alkalinity for any corals that we do put in the 2,000 gallon lagoon aquarium. But I mean, I can tell you just where we're at right now, I am super psyched for this tank to go online, like fully online with the fish and everything, because it's gonna be amazing. And it's just the beginning. We have so many additions to this tank coming. It's gonna be nuts. And of course, that opens up the whole 1,500 gallon system behind me. So just what I needed. More tanks to build and scape. Woohoo! And yo, I haven't forgotten about finishing up the 220, the 125, or the 1200, or the 12-foot tank, or the secret tank that I haven't told you about yet. We're gonna get to all of them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.